Hello everyone, Shivers here. I'm glad everyone found their way. Today we have an eerie story, although not entirely based in a hospital. It's about a note that was left in one. Now, without further delay, let's begin. I'm writing this with the last pencil I'll ever hold. My name is Megan Reed and I'm 17 years old. I live in Hillsboro, Wisconsin. My family recently moved here because of the cheap property, and it happened to be where my father was raised. Drawing has always come naturally to me, so I constantly have a sketchbook and a few pencils in my bag. I have an interesting ability. I can take a snapshot of an image I'm looking at by blinking. I can recreate the image on paper, as if I was staring at it the whole time. Hillsboro has many old interesting houses, so that has been a subject of many of my recent drawings. The town isn't very large, so I like to take strolls down streets. I pick houses that pique my interest and draw them. My life changed on one of those strolls. I walked down the central street of town, Mill Street, and decided to turn left and go down Field Ave. I came across a house on my left with grass that came up to my waist in the front yard. It was a Victorian-style house. The windows were broken in a few places and the paint was peeling, although I could tell it used to be violet. I decided this house was the lucky winner for the day. I blinked my eyes while looking at the house, locking the image in my mind. I sat down with my back against a short picket fence and pulled out my sketchbook and pencil. I let my fingers do the work. While my mind wandered, I thought about what I was going to have for dinner tonight. My mom told me shepherd's pie was for dinner. It's a favorite of mine. Also, I just remembered I have history homework due tomorrow. The homework thought broke my concentration. I looked down and the drawing was near completion. I captured the circular portion of the left-hand side of the house, ending at a tip of a cone. The right-hand side was looking good as well. A downward V-shape with two windows below it looked into the second floor. The second floor was extended slightly farther than the first to allow overhang for the porch. Each column looked to be in place. With the man standing next to the door, smiling. Wait a second, the man standing next to the door? I don't remember seeing any man. I stood up and looked across the grass to the front porch. No man was in sight. I took another look at the man in my drawing. I didn't draw his body in very good detail, just some light shading. The face was more detailed. I drew both of his eyes and his mouth. The eye sockets were pointed towards me. They didn't have an iris, and the mouth was smiling, a very toothy smile. The mouth looked disproportionate. It seemed to extend from ear to ear instead of spanning the length of his eyes. I decided that was enough house drawing for today. I really shouldn't let my mind wander while I'm drawing. I packed up my things and headed home. When I arrived back at Mill Street, I saw a very interesting old car. It looked like a Volkswagen Beetle, but I could tell it's been around for a few decades. I decided to take a snapshot image for a drawing later. I arrived home a little after 6 p.m. Mom had already prepared the dinner table. The shepherd's pie had steam rising off of it, and Dad was in his study, on the phone. Mom told me he would be in a little late due to his meeting running over. The shepherd's pie was delicious as always. Sometimes I dream about it, even now. I excused myself from the table to go relax in my bedroom. I lit a few candles on my desk and sat down in my seat. My favorite place in the house, my drawing desk. Many memories and drawings have been made at this desk. I always need to draw the snapshot memories before I go to sleep though. They always seem to leave my brain after a restful sleep. I brought my pencil to the paper in preparation to draw the old Volkswagen Beetle on Mill Street. Long, smooth strokes to draw the hood connecting to the curved roof. Short, forceful pencil strokes to draw the black tires. Light shading for the door to show the sunlight touching it. And short, light strokes for each tooth in the smile. The smile? I looked down to see I was halfway through drawing a face in the driver's seat. That's not right. There wasn't anybody in the driver's seat. Maybe I was mistaken. I brought my pencil to the paper to finish the strange face. The face was pointing left, directly where I was standing. The mouth was too long. It shouldn't be that long. My breath started coming out in short bursts. I brought out the drawing from the house earlier that day. I placed it next to the car drawing. The smile was the same, but the eyes and ears were detailed in the car drawing. The eyes had more of a pointed glare than the empty sockets from the first drawing. The ears were slightly tipped at the top. The rest of the body was still only shaded gray. I put the pencil to my car drawing, in hoping to fill out more detail with the rest of the torso, but I could not. I feel like I shouldn't, but I needed to know. I looked to the right, where the door was located to my room. I blinked my eyes, and pushed the other drawings out of the way, while placing a new sheet down. I began drawing. The door? Dark brown wood with light flickering from the candles on it. The bronze handle. The blue jacket hanging from the back of the door. The hand reaching towards me. I jumped out of my chair, looking towards the door. There was nothing there. I looked at the drawing on my desk. Long nails on 4 fingers were lunging out towards me on the center of the page. I reached out with my hand towards the door. Something brushed my hand. I screamed and threw open the door. I ran into the preacher table in the hallway, knocking over one of my mother's favorite vases, and I fell to the floor. I tried to prop myself up, but the floor was wet. If I remember correctly, there was never any water in that vase. I looked down to find blood running onto the floor from 3 gashes in my forearm. My mother and father appeared in front of me, and my mother turned a ghastly white at the sight of my blood, and my father picked me up and ran me out to the car. I don't remember much of the ride to the hospital. I'm lying in the same bed I'm writing this letter from. It's been a week since I was brought here. They had me on suicide watch. The doctor told my parents that the slashes on my forearm couldn't have been from the vase. I've only tried drawing once since I've been here. The man is still here, if you could call it a man. The last drawing looked more like a beast than a man, crouching at the foot of my bed. I'm too scared to draw anymore. Once this letter is finished, I'll never hold a pencil again. I'm not sure what this thing wants with me. I can always feel a presence around me, shadows dancing out of the corner of my eyes. I just wanted to give a warning so this doesn't happen to you. If you sense something following you, don't acknowledge it, and it won't acknowledge you further. I'm glad to see you made it. Now, Touchrock, I want to give you a nice big thank you for allowing me to read this amazing story. If you guys enjoyed, please like, comment, and maybe subscribe. There will be more content shortly. So, stay safe, and until next time.